Hello, hello, hello. Jazzchicken here, and welcome to RPG Maker MV, where we'll be making our first game. I know that I've used the same thumbnail in case any of you are like, I saw that thumbnail before. I had to delete the previous stream because I ended up using copyrighted music. Basically covers of games. I thought they would be the tunes from the actual games, but it was actually cover bands. I'm like, can't use them. But now I've actually pieced together a playlist of actual video game music. Okay, hopefully. Okay, that's all playing now. Alright, hopefully it's fine. I think the volumes are fine. I did a test earlier. I'll turn it down for me a bit. Alrighty, so we're not really building the game yet, but what we are doing is going to be building some mechanics that I want to use and testing them out to make sure that, you know, my ideas work and we can do what we wanted to do. So we tested all these commands out before, and I found a few more where you can grow the text and shrink the text. Randomizer code, I don't think we tested that one. Ravencrow, welcome, welcome. RPG Maker, huh? Yeah! So this will be the first game from the two that I have to make following the charity stream. I thought I would start somewhere that I'm a little bit more comfortable with, because I used RPG Maker XP back in the day, so this is fairly familiar territory. Before we actually get into a more complex game design, and that will be the second game. We'll worry about that. Gonna make some really progressive gremlins. What I'm going to be doing is creating all these tiles myself, so all this water and that. I'm not going to be using this design, I'll be making my own design. I'll be making my own characters, but in a style of these ones. I wonder if I can show them. Kind of here, you can't really see it very well. Can I... What if I do this? Yeah, I don't like these, like, squashed chibi style characters. Hate them. I wanted to use... So all these tile sets I'll be making myself. The doors and everything. All these pieces. All this wonderful stuff in the library. I'm gonna try not to use it. I want to design my own. Where was... Oh, there, character. Yeah, I want the characters to look more like this. They already look better and bigger as compared to that. And this style of the characters I quite like. So I'm going to use this as a reference, and then I'll try and build my own characters with it. But anyway, what we're first going to do is a simple randomizer. So, for a randomizer, can you upload your own art to RPG Maker? You can indeed. I'll be using a program called Sprite, where it's focused on pixel art and stuff. Helps with animating as well, the pixel art that you make. So long as you get the canvas size correct and their proportions and everything correct, because it has to follow like a particular size format in order for the RPG Maker to actually pick them out as their individual image and not merge them together. But yes, you can do that. You can even upload your own music and your own sound. You can also upload your own videos, which I think I tested in the first stream and we actually got it to work. It needed to be a very particular format, but it means that I can do cinematics. Now, it's going to take me a long time to do cinematic, because the only way that I can think of doing it, if I was to freehand draw it, it's gonna look weird. I mean, it's probably gonna look weird anyway, but I might do what I did years ago, where I recorded myself, and in the cinematic that I did, it was like a guy being chased by wolves, and all I did was film myself, like the front torso part of me, like here, and then I filmed myself to kind of do this. And then with each frame, I drew over myself. I colored myself in. I drew like a robe because he was wearing a robe, so I drew a robe onto myself and changed the colors and everything, frame by frame. So I was slowly doing this, and then I drew wolves in the distance and stuff. And when I finished it and pressed play, it looked good. It didn't look fantastic, but it looked good. So I was like, okay, I might implement that into this, but it would have to be maybe short cinematics because it takes a long time to do that because it's basically stop animation that you're doing. Yes, I was just about to mention Aseprite. Yeah, I used to use Aseprite on Twitch. I had like little pixel characters running on the bottom of the screen for the followers and subscribers. So I would make and edit other video game sprites so that you can have them there. So I'm kind of familiar with Aseprite as well. Now for a randomizer, we want use controlled variable and create a variable for a specific randomizer. Okay. And how are you, Raven? How's your weekend been? You been well? Keeping good? So freehand rotoscoping, basically, yeah. Yep. I know nothing about art. Yeah, same. I can't do proportions or not dynamics. Perspective. I can't really do perspective. Can't do hands or feet. So I'm pretty terrible at drawing. So that's why I'm using myself as a model in the cinematics when I'm moving, or like if I'm doing, like in my intro, for example, I've got a plan where so the story I'm going to be doing was a story that fell through, that I was trying to do as my own D&D campaign, but it all fell through. Like everyone ended up having to leave due to life and other things. So I'm doing that story, but as a video game now. And it's essentially just looking at magical keys and what they can do was the basic principle of the story. Where is it? Here. So basically the cinematic that I have planned right at the intro is that it opens up to like a set of keys, like one that has the female symbol on it and one has the male symbol on it. And then the player can choose male or female or whatever they want to identify as. Maybe I'll have a third key for the other. I just don't know what symbol to use for the other identifier. If you don't want to identify as male or female, what do I pick there? What's the third key option? A question mark, maybe, I don't know. Then when you choose it, whichever one you pick, say if you picked female, a hand will come up and the key will go into the hand and he'll put it into like this keyhole that's on screen and turn it, and then he'll take the key out and then 3 other keys will appear, and one which has like a shield and an eagle on it, one is like a rusty, bent, damaged key, and one is like a furry key with a tail and a paw print for the handle. And again, when you pick your key, essentially you're picking your race. So when you pick your race, the hand comes up, grabs the key, unlocks it, and then opens the door, and then there'll be like parchment and book and stuff, which again I will film. And if pieces of paper fall out, which I hope it does, if pieces of paper fall out, then I can edit that frame by frame so it actually looks like it falls out. And then the hand will reach in, grab the book, it will open the book, and yeah, I can do all that. It's just, yeah, like you say, frame by frame rotoscoping. So a lot of work, but it should look good. Been good. Been earning lots of platinum trophies in games for a big event. My Discord is running. Oh. Well, very congratulations on that. I don't have the patience for platinum trophies anymore. I used to try, but a lot of games made it impossible to get platinum, so now I'm just like, whatever. There's a non-binary symbol. Oh, there is. Oh, okay. Kingdom Hearts. I was thinking of having a keyblade, but not like in the shape of a key. It was a key that turned into a blade of something, but then I eventually discarded it because I thought, it's 2 Kingdom Hearts. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Now, a lot of my stuff, there's a lot of things, especially there's going to be an arena, which is like a side thing that you can do. You can go to the arena, you can fight challenging battles. The battle mechanics, I hope, if I can get it to work, will be tactical. A bit like if ever you played Shining Force or Breath of Fire, that kind of style. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just give it a Google, and you'll see what I mean. I mostly want to go for Shining Force. I mostly want to go for that kind of style. But it depends what plugins I can find and get to work. Basically what would happen, you have your troops, you can move them where you want them to go on the battlefield, the enemies will do likewise, and when you battle, instead of it going like side on like normal RPGs where they jump forward and go ha and jump back again, or if, say, like on, I think it's Breath of Fire, where when they attack on the tactical screen, there's not really any animation. There's nothing, they just, I don't know, some kind of magical effect happens. That's about it. But in Shining Force, it fades to a different screen where you have the image of, like, your character from behind and the enemy at front, and then they animate to cast spells or they animate to slash them. And then you see the enemy go, ugh, and then it fades back to the tactical game. So that's the kind of visual effects that I would like in it. Whether I can get that to work is another thing. It's going to be a lot of probably more showing of images and stuff, and I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I think it's just going to be more stop motion type thing, but programmed into RPG Maker. But it will be interesting when I get into that side of things. Story sounds cool as frick. So like Fire Emblem, a little bit, yeah. The story so far, what I've plotted out the beginning, and what I did was unintentional. I didn't really plan for it to work out as it did, and when I started writing it and I pieced it together, I was like, oh my god, this actually works. I didn't even think this would work. So you choose your gender, then you go to choose your race. Now the shield with the eagle is to symbolize a race of humans. I always find that to be the boring race when I play games, and I wanted something different other than elves and dwarves, because they're always elves and dwarves. So the two races that I picked for your other ones, so you have human, the rusty bent key is orcs, so you get to play as an orc, and the furry key with a tail and a paw print is dogfolk, like dog-headed people. And I was trying to think, because I didn't want to call them dogfolk, or canines. It was originally, for a long time, going to be canine. I was like, there's got to be something else. And I looked into Greek mythology, and there's something called a kainake philoi, which basically means dog-headed. And I was like, kainake philoi, that's an intro. What if I just call them kainake? Kainake has a nice ring to it. Okay, we'll go with Kainake, and then if ever you inquire or look into the lore, you'll see that the full name of their race is Kainake philoi. So you choose it. When you choose the keys they will take you down a very slightly different path in the story, but it won't branch off too much. The chosen key, I'll read what I put down here. Chosen key sets creates a common event. Entering the keyhole and turning, the hand gets the parchment and a book. And there's also a crystal that's left inside the safe or box that he's opened. The hand will then grab the book and it will show you the front, like they'll bring the front cover of the book to like his face, which for the player will be the camera. And on the front, you'll see the Jazzchicken logo with, like, saying developed by Jazzchicken. You'll then open it up. And on the pages, you'll see a bunch of runes, like loads and loads of runes. And for those of you who are, or for those players that love secrets, and I like to find secrets, I decided that I'll make these runes actually mean something. So if you wanted to, you could decipher the runes to see what it says. Stops on the page with runes and symbols. Images of three-headed man merged together in 3 positions. 1 orc, 1 human, 1 Kainake. So the symbols would read, take heed these words spoken true to this day. Only death awaits those who disobey. The beginning of the end resides in a lost land. The final door waits beneath the sins of man. Should an evil rise and open the door, hold aloft the spirit key and recite this once more. Triceptus findamus celeste lunalum, orcanus Kainake faloi humanum. The door remains shut to those who can see. Only in need dost 3 form the key. 1 of strength to turn the tide, and that will be the orcs. They are the ones of strength. 1 of courage to step forward inside. That'll be the humans. And without the 3rd, thy intentions are damned. Yet with the bonds of loyalty united we stand. And that's the Kainake. They're dogs, they're very loyal. And as I was writing this, I then realized that these 3 races come together to form a key. And I was like, oh, this is perfect, because the story is about keys. So how I did it was that the orcs, because they're about strength, they're the head of the key, because you use that to turn the key. The humans are about courage. They go into the darkness. They're the teeth of the key that go into the keyhole to open the door. And then the Kainake are about loyalty. They bond them together. They're the rod, the handle, the bond that holds the teeth and the head of the key together. And I was like, oh my god, this all comes together. This is perfect. I didn't even plan this, but it's perfect. RJL Jones, welcome. And what this translation, when you translate it and you read into it, at the moment it won't make much sense, but in the story, these keys were made by a locksmith, an ancient locksmith who knows his mystical ways and whatever. And his keys were designed to keep something away from everyone. Something incredibly dangerous. He's managed to lock it away. And he scattered these keys around. I think over time, some of the keys got lost, some of them got stolen. But yeah, and his keys spread far and wide. The main keys that open this door to free whatever is inside, he has hidden in really out of reach places that no mere mortal could possibly get unless they had the other keys. So the other keys will help you gain the main keys to open this door. And he's saying, like, with what that message in the book was saying, was that you don't want to be doing what you're doing right now, only if you really need to. If there's an evil that's now seeking these keys and wants to open this door, then we're probably going to need a helping hand to stop it. So with the soul crystal, the soul key, you recite the incantation that it had in the book, and like this light will shoot out, and it will then fork into 3, which will go to the different races, and that's where you will start the game. And essentially the soul key, when you recite the incantation, it summons the hero. It finds the chosen one out of those races. And there will be one chosen from each race. So there's 3 chosen ones. So basically what you're seeing right at the beginning of the game is the hand of the locksmith, who at the moment I don't plan that you would ever meet. You will never meet him. I think at this point in time, he's probably long passed away. Because it's like... It's much further into the future. We're not talking about spaceships or anything. It's still like fantasy style. But yeah, I planned that he was like from an age long past. So at the moment, I don't think that you will meet the locksmith. But that's the only little teaser that you get of the locksmith, is right at the start of the game. And that's him casting the spell because he knows that there's an evil coming or something. Or who knows, maybe the locksmith is still alive. Maybe that's why he summoned them, because he knows there's an evil around causing mischief. So he's like, we're gonna need some people to actually help out. Because I can't do it by myself. So yeah, be interesting. It's a really cool concept, thank you all. I've tried to think of what keys could do as well. So you've got keys that you can put it in the back of people's heads. So all these magical keys, they will reveal keyholes. In terms of the ones in backs of people's heads, when you go behind them and you bring the key, that specific key, to their head or to them, it will open a keyhole in their head, but the person will not feel a thing. And you put the key in, and when you turn it, like this energy will flash out. Your essence, whatever makes you, will be dragged and absorbed into the person's head, and then both of you are like, essentially like, like you're standing there with your hand in his head, like, and then the person who's had the key in his head is just, and then you're in his brain, so you can see their thoughts, you can see their memories. You'll be into like this mind vault, whatever they call it. I know there's a certain term for it. But I am essentially seeing, like, you know, the art where you see like stairs all over the place, like upside down, sideways, and you're seeing doors all over the place. That's kind of how I envision like the mind palace. But I'm only going to allow the player to actually explore just a couple rooms. You're not going to be able to explore because it's going to be endless. So there's only a couple rooms that you can see. And if you do main NPCs, they'll give you some interesting information as to what's recently happened. It might give you some insight as to, you know, if a bad guy has recently been here or done something. You can also do it on NPCs, because I figured if you can do it on these guys, why can't you do it on NPCs? So I'll do it on NPCs too. They'll have more generic thoughts and memories. I will sneak some Easter eggs in a couple of them. It'd be interesting to see who can find them. They're going to be like really different memories, something bizarre. Like there could be one guy who seems happy and like a really lovable person, but if you go into his mind, you see that he's actually murdered quite a few people and he's like keeping a few hostage and stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna get away from you. That kind of thing. But yeah, there's all sorts of other keys. There's like a shadow key that can release it detaches your shadow and you can use it to spy on people. There's a key that allows you to walk on the seas, like the seabed, but with like this air bubble around you. There's quite a bunch of keys, and I've also thought of, okay, so these magical keys have been around. Some people do know about these magical keys. So, essentially, that should mean then that people with malicious intent may want to make their own keys. So I have a few evil keys where people have tried to figure out the locksmith's secret in designing magical keys and tried to make their own keys. So I've got a couple evil keys that will be there as well. Random idea, don't need to use it, but if you still like the idea of having a key as a weapon, I was going to suggest having your character have a small sword on a necklace that they can form. The Keyblade. Like, I like the mind unlock concept. Yeah. I have been playing around with like a Keyblade kind of idea. Maybe as like it could be like a legendary weapon in as such, maybe. With the mind one, I also think I might implement it will mean extra work, but I do want a game that is good. I could make a very short game that's a bit but for £100 donations, I feel like I need to actually make it a proper game. So I might invest the extra time to do this, where you can enter the mines, you can see the memories, but you can also lock these doors. So essentially you're locking the memory away, and when you exit the person's mind, he's now temporarily forgotten that memory. The only time he'll remember that memory is if you unlock the door again. And essentially, if there are memories that someone has forgotten, you could enter their mind, unlock the door, and you can force them to remember any like suppressed memories or anything like that. So any essentially like past traumas that they tried to suppress, you could then go in and just unlock, and then they'll be like, ah, I remember everything. So we want a controlled variable. Use controlled variable and create a variable for your specific randomizer. So if I go here and we say number one, I forget RPG Maker likes to open the window on the other screen. Right, we're going to turn this one into randomizer. No, it's with an S, not a Z. Then we want to, set. Then we want it on random. We want this on a 1. Now, if we was going to do, say, like a D20. Well, actually, no, let's just do 5 for now. Because if this works, then you can basically do like a D20. You can do dice mechanics simply by doing this. Okay, so if we do 5. Add a conditional branch. And then we want variable, right? Randomizer. So if constant equals 1, and then we want the create an else branch. And then we do that for everything else. So we copy that in the else. We edit that, make it a 2. We make this one a 3. Four. 5. But how do we get it to pick one of those numbers at random? Branch an option, randomize it, and change the constant to la 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 la. Build what happens for each option, and it's complete. So that will just do it. It will just pick at random. Let me see as to reasons why. Because of this. Random 1 to 5. Okay. So that's why it will pick it at random. Okay. So if I just say, let's go show text Jazz. Number 2, we'll do Ravencrow. Number 3 will be RJL Jones. Number 4 will be no one else is here. We will go with Mr. Blobby. If you don't know who that is, it's a very bizarre character from like the 90s. Google him. He's like a weird pink thing with yellow polka dots all over him. Such a random character. And this one can be I don't know. Squidums. There you go. Okay, so now if where are we putting it? We're putting it there. Let's just go. I'm just gonna pick a person. Okay. I'm just gonna test this out. Let's pause the music so we don't get a massive clash of sounds. Now, if this randomizer works, which I think it does, that will open up the doors to a lot of other things. See, you see the size difference. See the size difference in characters. This is why I want this, the one that I'm using, the sprite that I'm using. It's so much easier to see. It's so much clearer. It's bigger. And then you see the size of this guy. It's like he comes up to my knees. He's tiny. Like, why would they make that like the sprite to use in the RPG Maker MV? It's so tiny. But yeah, so if I pick you, Jazz, Squidums, Jazz, Mr. Blobby, Mr. Blobby, Mr. Blobby. Jazz. It doesn't want to pick you, Raven. RJL Jones, Mr. Blobby, Squidums, RJL Jones. It really doesn't want to pick you. Jazz, Jazz, Squidums, Mr. Blobby, RJL Jones, Mr. Blobby. Is it? Okay, there we go. I was about to say, is the second option, did I do something that made it break? But no, it just really didn't want to pick your name. But it seems the randomizer works, so that is good. Alright, cool. Nice easy one to start with. So that, with having the randomizer, that means that my idea for a minigame will work. I have a simple minigame idea, which I'm essentially borrowing. Well, I'm not borrowing, I'm stealing. I can't give it back, can I? I'm stealing the idea from one of my favorite RPGs, which is Suikoden 2 on PS1. They have a minigame where it's 3 characters climbing a wall. You roll dice to see how far you climb up. If you roll a 1, you fall back down. And you got to basically decide when you want to tie a knot in the rope. So then when you roll a 1, you don't fall further than where you put that knot. I've planned out how I'm going to script that minigame. And because that randomizer works, that means that the dice mechanic will work, which is fantastic. And it also means that the AI bots, because it would just be you and 2 bots that you're playing against, it'll also mean that the 2 bots either side of you should also pick their moves randomly as well. I was thinking if it picks it at random, then I'm probably going to have them constantly trying to tie a knot or something. So I might need to think about it a bit more for the AI so they're a bit more clever and they actually maybe try to win rather than just do things randomly. But we'll see. When we cross that bridge, we'll see. Also means that as I mentioned briefly earlier, there's an arena that you're going to have. It's a place where you can just go in, you can battle whenever you want to just step away from the game for a while, step away from the story. You have this arena that you can go to. It's like an arena of illusions. The arena is renowned for its illusionary magics. And there's like there's like 4 wizard towers or something, or maybe 2. I haven't properly planned it out yet. But there's a couple wizard towers that are attached to this arena. There's wizards in the towers. And whenever a battle starts, they cast a spell which changes the layout of the arena. So it will look like a coliseum to begin with. And once the battle starts, the arena will begin to change. And it will turn into like a dragon's cave with like gold everywhere. It will transform into the insides of some giant monster's stomach, and you've got like acid pools everywhere that you got to be careful of because it's environmental damage. It will burn you, and although it's illusionary magics, they will still hurt you. And stuff like that. Yeah, I've planned all sorts of different arenas. One that's underwater, one that's on a boat, one that's on the back of a dragon, one that's, it could be all sorts of things. So because that randomizer works, that means that picking the arenas will work too, because that will all be on a randomizer. Whenever you go to do the arena, it will always be different. And there'll also be like a side story or a side quest for the arena if you want to climb the ranks and become like a renowned gladiator. Then you'll have key characters to fight, you'll have planned battles, but the arena will still be different, I think. I might maybe have the planned battles be on planned arenas. We'll see. We'll see. It's only because when I'm thinking about it now, if it's all randomized, I'll need to try and plan, if possible, monsters that won't actively step into hazardous terrain and kill themselves. So like side quests where you help people deal with trauma. I'll stop distracting you and ask you questions so you can actually make the game. That's fine. I mean, that's basically what this one episode is about. Testing mechanics and also giving some insight at the moment as to what the game is about. Because it's the first stream. I've got all day, so I'm going to be here a while doing this anyway. So it's all good. You don't need to worry if you feel like you're distracting me or anything. You're not. Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Unlucky as usual. $100 donos. Gonna turn into 3 years of work. Yeah, I know, right? Maybe even longer. Because I've got 2 video games to make. Now, the other mechanics I think I put in this book. Story ideas and what might be needed. A randomizer. Yes, that one works. We got that one. Which means that the arena works. I mean, what we can do, if we're gonna do, say, an arena, we can have here, let's create 5 maps. But it should work exactly the same. I don't see why it wouldn't. We're gonna go test 2. Tile set will be outside. Okay. Now we'll make this one grass with, I don't know, a bit of water over here. There you go. How amazing. What a fantastic, it looks a bit phallic. Let's just do this as well. It looks less like a penis. There you go. What a great map design. Alright, so that's map 2. And then we go test 3. This one can be inside. And we will go this. Oh wait, did I do the wrong one? I don't know, let's find out. If I was to do floorboards. Oh. Wasn't quite what I had in mind. Blech. Is there like a normal like wall design or something? Ah, that works. There we go. That's what I was after. Let's do brick wall. There you go. Tiny map, but that's all we need. Okay, next we do test 4, and this will be SF outside, whatever that is. Bam. Snowy lands. So that's 4, and the last one, test 5. Can be this one. Oops. Ah, what did I do? Can I undo? I can't undo. What did I just do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, what? Oh, did I just... I feel like I just basically changed this, which I didn't want to do. Overworld map. Alright. Test 5. Why won't it let me select anything? Oh, I already had it selected, that's why. Let's do this, and then I don't want events. Is this a wall? I think it is a wall. Okay. Looks more like a floor than a wall, but never mind. What a lovely design for a house. Alright, whatever, that'll do. So the idea is that we get rid of these text boxes. And we go transport. Where is it? Change party member, that's the party message. Game progression. Flow control. Actor. Movement. Transfer player. That's where we're on. So we now want to put you for number 1 to go there. Okay, and if I copy this, because this will basically be how the arena works. Go there. what I'll do, just so I can test it better, is I'll copy this guy over into each of the maps. Let's put you over there. You can go like in this corner. You can go up there. And you can stand over there. Alrighty. So, we talk to you. Takes us to this arena. And then we do the battle and whatever. And then if you were to talk to him again, like back in the other room, takes you to this arena. Do whatever battle on this map. Or on this map. Okay, works perfectly. Yeah, I thought it would. I didn't think it would be any different. Okay, so that all works. Now, your introduction to the arena. So at the start of the game, when you see the energy shoot out, it branches off. Wherever it's going to branch to, you are always going to be a character who has just been captured and arrested. You are a prisoner. You are inside a carriage and you're being transported to like a gladiatorial ludus, where you'll be basically treated as a slave and trained to fight in the arena. But you are taken to an illegal one, whereas essentially the arena is made for entertainment, but it's not made to kill anyone. But there have been known to be illegal practices where they want you to fight to the death because there are customers who like that sort of thing and they're willing to pay more. So that's what you've been captured and taken into. So the intro will start off, it will have all the key stuff, and then it will follow this carriage that's riding through a forest or whatever, and then you pull up outside the ludus and you go in, and then the game begins. Right, whatever else. Image, lab, prisoner seed, play plan escape. Okay, do we need to start work? Mechanics to consider. Dynamic lighting using a full screen image of colored areas and lowering its opacity. Okay, so that, what I wanted for that, we can delete you for now. Now the idea was, if I go here, and if I was to say I was going to upload an image, I would upload it to... Where would I upload an image? I don't think it would be animation. Parallax, maybe? Or just a picture. It would just be a picture. Okay. So I guess that's where I'll do it. I'm unsure. I'm just going to grab any old image. I want to see if the program allows you to make images transparent and like affect the opacity of an image, or I have to do that before uploading. Let's go with my logo. Okay, so that's in. If I went to go show picture, show picture, there it is. Alright, and we go image. It's going to be a gigantic image, but I don't care about that. Opacity, there it is. Alright, so I can change it. I just can't see it though, which is a bit of a bugger. So I basically just need to play around with this. I'm guessing lower opacity means that it's transparent. So if I drop that to 100, for example, and I'll put the origin, I don't know, center. Sure. We want you to trigger when I touch you. Alright, let's try that. Okay, so that did make it transparent. So going lower makes it transparent. Good, good. Now the idea... but I can't get it to go where I am. What if I want the image to be on me? Me specifically. Because the idea is that I will make my own picture, which is mostly black. And then I rub out a section where the player would be. And then I'll maybe draw... because it's going to make the whole thing transparent, that's the thing. So I might need two images. One which is maybe black with a large circle cut out. And then I'll make another image which is, I guess, just black and how I originally designed. Because what I'm essentially thinking of doing is when you're in dark areas, I want the screen to be darker. And also have, if you're using a torch, then the area around you will be lit up. It will be brighter, rather than just being dark and you're having to walk around. So the idea is that I slap an image over everything. I lower the opacity, so then it makes it dark, but you can still kind of see things around. I cut out the center, because that's the brightest part. And then I have like a colored section that will be maybe like a yellowy orange, and because it's slightly transparent, you should be able to still see stuff. And then the other darker image will black out everything else, so then you can't see it. So then whenever you're walking around, you'll have this image follow you, and it will look like the area is lit up. So I guess the only thing that I really want is to try and get destination with variables. How do I get the image to appear on the player? I might have to do direct designation each time, but I don't know if it will follow the player, that's the thing. I might have to have a think about that one. I can move picture. Wait for completion. None of it follows the player though. Rotate, tint, erase. That part I will have to have a look at, but essentially my idea would work. So if I just do a very crude image now, I'll show you what I mean. The idea is that I go, say all this is black. Then I have do a rubber. Say maybe there is the brightest part. Actually, if I do this first. Oops. Okay, that's not going to make a good circle, so if I just do this then. That's not a circle. That's not a circle. I wanted a circle. Oh, I think it's because it's black, so I can't see it. There we go, that's better. So if I did that and we fill it in. So I'm just making a very crude image. And then we want to go white. Rubber, actually. Rub it out. Let's make canvas. Transparency on. So we rub that out. Put it there as test. Test 1. Now my other idea, because I do want areas that will be that you can't see, so the other area will be this. If I just go boop, black. Oh no, wait. So what I actually want is to rub this out. Alright, so we'll go with that. This will be test 2. Okay, now if I upload those images, we can remove that. Good luck with it all, sir. I'm off to bed, so I hope you make some good progress. No worries, Raven. Thanks for popping by. I'll catch you later. Pictures. We now want to delete that picture because we don't want it. Now we go here. We grab this one and this one, upload them in. Alright, they're both the same size image, which means this should work out. What we want is this first design. We are going to... Trouble is, I don't know what the X and Y axis is for the player. Oh, is that what it says down here? Is that... So what's this? 11.7. If I go 11... 7. Then we show a second image. Also 11.7. But this one can have reduced opacity. We'll make it, I don't know, 150. So hopefully it's not going to follow the player though, but I can try and figure out something for that. What it should look like. It should look like... Oh, it does follow the player. Okay, cool. So this is kind of the idea. It didn't really black out everything else though. And also the image doesn't cover the whole screen, but then I just make a bigger image. It doesn't... The second image is not smothering everything though. Oh, it only showed one image. It didn't actually show the second image. Why did you not show the second image? Did I choose the same image twice? Test 2. I showed the same image twice. That's why I'm a numpty. I'm a numpty. That's why it didn't work. So what if this one is 7 then? And this one is 11? How about that? Okay. I mean, the other one didn't black out anything. Image isn't quite where I want it to be. Now, obviously the yellow in that would need to be different. Oh, I see. For some reason it dropped the opacity for both. Oh, because I was using the same thing, that's why. So, what if I just delete that one? Show picture, opacity, yeah. Test 2 for this one. So that is 11, but it's probably not 7. I'm going to say 5. Wait, is it? No, that was the same one I just did. It gets confusing. I keep confusing myself. So I made that one 5. Why are you not blacking out everything? There should be 2 images overlaid. It looks to only be doing 1. We've got both. Test 2. Is that one? Yeah. Opacity is maximum. Is it because it needs to be number 2? Maybe that's why. It needs to be number 2. And if I reduce the opacity even more. So maybe it just kept replacing picture number 1 rather than what I thought it was, show 1 picture of. So that should have hopefully done it now. Alright, that's better. That's better. Obviously I'll design it to look a bit better, but the idea is that the yellow area is the diminishing light around you, the center is the brightest, and then the yellow area is the dim light that the torch gives you. Then I'll have maybe like another bit of the black rubbed out, so it's getting darker and darker, and then until eventually you can't see anything at all. Now the trouble is on this inner section though, I might need to make the inner section maybe a dark blue or something. I don't know. Or maybe that is fine. Maybe I need a dark blue going around the light. I need to give the sense that it is dark. But of course, if you're holding a torch, then from where you are is the brightest, so it's not going to look dark on you, is it? So no, I guess that's where everything else, like the tile sets and that will come into it. But essentially that is the plan. And it does seem to be following the hero, kind of. Yeah, there it doesn't follow the hero. So I do need to figure out a mechanic to actually make it stay on the hero at all times. Even if you go to the top of the screen. Okay. So we kind of got that one working. Need it to stay on player. I'll put some stars here just to remind myself that that one needs a little bit more work. I'll look into how I can do that. Right, leveling system / skill tree. Depends what tactical plugin you use. Otherwise, variables can keep track of XP, skill points. Then on the skill tree, you use an image for the branch and sprites for the skill orbs. You select the sprite for details and price. If you have enough XP, you can buy it, locking it in place. Alright, so with that idea, I can get rid of that now, don't need that. Alright, so say this map is our skill tree. Let's just draw it a bit bigger. We need, say we'll have like, I don't know, a monster here. Even all the monsters are squished. Like a horse is the same size as the people. The sprites in RPG Maker XP were so much better. Alright, so let's just pick, I don't know, this bat. And let's have you animate. Yeah, stay where you are. Whatever, yeah. Okay. Whenever I click you, gained 5 XP. And then it won't be any particular currency at the moment. I would need it somewhere on your little menu to tell you how much of these points you have to spend. Control variable. So if we name this one XP, and we add 5. What's game data? Just curious about that one. Map ID. Do a variable to items, weapons, armor, actors, enemies, characters, party members. Gold. Steps taken. Ooh. Playtime. Timer save counts. Battle counts. Win counts. Okay. That might help with the tournament, actually. The battle and win count. And the escape. These 3 would be good for the arenas. Interesting. Alright, anyway. Constant 5. It's adding 5, so yes. So that will give you 5 to that variable. Then we'll have, like, I don't know, someone up here. Let's say this lady. How would I get her to say the number in the variable? Is there a particular code to put in the text prompts? Icon number, increase size, shrink. Ah, there you go. A specific numbered variable. Example, variable 1 is keeping track of how many enemies you killed, so code, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that was variable 2. Yes, variable 2. Alright. You currently have currently have that XP to spend. Let's give you a face as well. Is there a woman with dark hair? They got purple hair. There's no one with black hair. No one has black hair. Disgraceful. She has black hair, but is there conveniently someone who matches the sprite? Not really, but you'll do. Kind of facing the wrong direction though. If you were facing that way, I want you on the right side, not on the left. Yeah, cool. Okay, so that works. So every time I talk to you, that will tell me how many XP you have to spend. So therefore, I can easily program in something that will tell you how much XP or how many skill points you have to spend in your skill tree. Use an image for the branch and sprites for the skills. Alright, so say this was, if we did... this lady. No, actually we'll have a crystal. Yeah, we'll just have a crystal. We'll have it moving. And it will be, I don't know, Dex plus 5. No, well, I don't need to worry about that. We just say, do I need to summon like a shocker? I don't think I do. No, I don't. I just say what it is, don't I? Yeah, I just say what it is. I just say this skill costs 25 XP. If I then go OK, we'll do another text box that will say, no, this one needs to be a choice, not just a text box. It needs to be a choice. Ah, okay, maybe it does need to be a text. Do you wish to buy it? Now it's a choice. Yes and no. Yes. I think it's a conditional branch that I need. Variable XP. Constant is 0. Oh no, if it's 25. But how do I say if it's 25 or more? Ah, this box at the side. I don't know which is greater than or which is less than. Ah, go away, fly. Gorazor, welcome, welcome. I don't know which arrow is which. Would you know, Gorazor, as you're here? In terms of greater than or less than, which arrow is which? So you have like the arrow that is pointing to the right, and you have the arrow that's pointing to the left. There's also ones that have a line underneath, so I don't know what that means. It's not really... You would think hovering over it would tell you what they mean, but it's not telling me. So that one is less than, okay. So I would want greater than. What would it mean if it was the pointing arrow and then a line underneath? Would that mean it's like equal to or greater than? Going to be variable name Veil. We need an else conditional branch. Also left the less than with a line is less or equal. Okay, so it will be the same. Yeah, greater than or equal. Less than or equal. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. I might make a note of that in my book, just for future reference. So, when XP or skill points reach 25 or more, then you should be able to buy it. If you don't have enough, so if you do, it will then change the variable. Control variable, right? Yeah. So then you would subtract XP by 25. Alright. If you don't have enough, it will say you don't have enough. If you say no, it will say, oh, alright then. Ciao, ciao. Okay, so I'm just thinking of a general concept of like a skill tree. I typed that wrong. X less than 15 would give you X is less than 15. Wait, what? Alright, oh, I also wanted, when you buy it, I would like you to change the sprite image. I should be able to do that. I don't currently see. Tile set, battle back, where do I change the image? Is it just the direction? No, it is actual change the image. Okay. Don't worry about it. You got it all figured out. I'm just making it more confusing at this point. Oh, okay. Change state. Change level. Change pointer. Skill. Equipment. Change name. Change class. I don't want any of that. Common event. Break loop. Conditional branch. Change transparency, change party followers, gather followers, show animation, erase event, show picture, move picture. Fluff flying into my face. Tint, erase, visual audio. How do I change sprite? Do I really need to do a self? I guess I would. I think that is how you would normally do it anyway. So this then, I would need a new page. This would be self switch A. This would be crystal. And then we go hiya on that one. We have it animated and the direction is fixed. So then there would control self switch, turn on A, and then that should be the thing, and then you won't be able to buy it again. Perfect. Alright. So that should essentially be what the skill tree will be, just on all of the skills on the skill tree. And I'll obviously design it to look a lot better than what it is. So we've got you that tells you how many skill points you have. We've got the enemy that gives you skill points. And then we have buying the skill point. Okay, so we'll test that. Alright, so first if we go to this. This skill costs 25 XP. Do you wish to buy it? Yes, you don't have enough. Okay, cool, that works fine. No. Oh, alright then, ciao ciao. If I go to you, you currently have 0 XP to spend. Then when I go to you, gained 5 XP. You currently have 5 XP to spend. This looks like it's working out very nicely. This skill costs 25. Do you wish to buy it? Yes. You don't have enough. Cool. And we go 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll go to 30. You currently have 30 XP to spend. Skill costs 25. Do you wish to buy it? Yes. It changes. So that's how you change the image. And now I can't buy it anymore. Can't do anything with it. If I go to you, you currently have 5 XP to spend. Perfect. Alright, that worked perfectly. So the skill tree idea works. Fantastic. What I did want is a reset. But I think that's very easy to do as well. Because I know there'll be players out there that might feel like they made the wrong choice and want to reset their skills. So variables for each companion, some add stats while others add skills and abilities. Reset mechanic. Make note of character's default stats. So when reset, rather than minus variables, just return them to the default numbers and set the variables back to 0. XP variable will simply add the XP spent back to your pool. Yes, so, right. So basically the idea is that you're going to get stat points that add dexterity, strength, I don't know, intelligence, charisma, whatever. Your character will have a base level of what those stats are. So I would need, as the creator, to make a mental note as to what those stats are. So then when I reset it, I put it back to that number again. And that would be by changing variables. So I'd have variables for each of the stats, I guess. No, I wouldn't. Or would I? Depends on the plugin for the tactical battle mechanics that I want. But yeah, essentially though, to reset, it will basically be... Oh, but I did a self-switch for this though. So I guess I don't want to self-switch. That's going to use a lot of switches then for the skill tree. Huh. Ugh. Suddenly got tired. Because I can't turn off somewhere else. I can't turn off self switches from other events. So okay, so the skills that you buy have to be specific switches, then they can't be self switches. So if I remove that and I go control switch and we say this is, I don't know, Dex. We turn that one on. So rather than a self switch, this is Dex. That costs 25. So if you talk to the nun or this or the horse, if you talk to the horse, do you wish to reset your skills? Show choices, yes, no. How would I have this know what has been spent? I put it down saying that it will simply just add it back to your pool, but how would it know what to put back into your pool? I somehow overlooked that. Because I could control variable XP to add is it there? It's just not telling me the little thing. Uses the value of the specified there you go. So whatever the value of that current variable is, that will add it back to your XP. But if you spent it, no, because that doesn't work. The idea is that you've spent it, so you don't have that anymore, so that's wrong. Maybe I need another variable of, like... I think that's what I need. I need another variable for XP spent. So we'll put you there for now. So that is minusing 5 from XP. And And we want to control variable 3, which is XP spent. So that will keep a log of how much is being spent. And I can log this based on each skill point. So this one in particular is 25. Yes. Okay. So when I go here and we go control variables, then we want to control XP and we want to add however much is in your XP spent. We add that back to your XP pool. And it will also reset the switches. I think that's all I really needed. Okay, so we'll try that. So we go to U, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We'll go to 30. That is 30, right? That is 30. All right. So then we go over here. So if I was to reset, do you wish to reset your skills? Yes. It shouldn't have given me anything. You currently have 30. Fantastic. Now we go to U. We buy the skill. Now we only have 5. We reset the skill. If I say no, nothing should happen. Say yes, it resets, and I'm back to 30. Hooray! There we go. I was confused as I was saying it out loud and explaining what I was doing. I'm like, I'm just confusing myself, but I can't follow my own train of thought right now. Let's just do it. Okay, good. So that works, and now it allows me to buy it again. Perfect. And you're not gaining any more points, so you can't do this as a means of just, you know, spend all your skill points, reset, and now you've got more skill points to spend, so then you spend it, reset, now you've got even more points to spend. Like, no, it should keep it exactly where you are every time. Alright, good. Good. So with that then... it happens all the time. So the reset mechanic works. I'll put a note to say... basically what I did. Use 2 variables for XP and XP spent. That should easily jog my memory, I would like to think. If it doesn't, then I'm an idiot. And I'll also put use switches for skill points. All right. That works. So far, everything works. We hit a little snag with that mechanic, but we fixed it. That's not a problem. We got it working. That's the whole purpose of this. Party members swapping. When one joins, character switch. Wait, when one joins, turn on character switch, so they are waiting at HQ, only if no room in party. Character switches may be 2 per person, question mark. 1 equals the HQ event, and 1 for everything else to become available. And then I've got 1 HQ event, so possibly a third one is needed. 1 is a HQ event. Will only be available when member is not in the party to turn switch on if you want them back. 2 handles the XP pool and the skill tree. 3, the third may be required to prevent XP gain when not in the party, and it causes issues if using a HQ event to stop and start this. Right now, I'm like, what? But I'm sure it made sense at the time. Alright, so if I have, where's my mouse? There it is. First things first, let's just slap a random door. Can I do a different, do you have better doors? No, fine, we'll do this door. Here's a door. Just sitting in the grass. And that can take you here. No, we can get rid of you. We don't need you. Alright, so that will get us to and from HQ. And we shouldn't have anyone in our party. Okay. So now we have... let's go with blue hair lady. Gorosaur joins the party. Then we change party members. We add Therese or Teresa, Terezi, whatever. I think that's Therese. Add. So that adds a party member. When adding the party member, turn on character switch so they are waiting at HQ. So we do a new page, we'll have this as Gorosaur. So that switch would just turn this one off. Oh, actually, I think for when you recruit them out and about wherever else, that needs to be a self switch. Because whenever you turn the switch back off, you don't want them all the way back where you first got them. So that actually needs to be a self switch. Self switch on. Control switch Gorosaur. We'll turn that one on. So then, if we grab the same event, I always wanted to be a long blue-haired woman. One joins, turn the character switch, so they are waiting at HQ, only if no room in the party. So that actually needs to be a conditional branch then. So this we... needs to be dorsal. Yeah. So I think that needs to be like that. Mess around with that later. So we need you to only do that if you have a full party. So we need a conditional branch. Up. This is going to be a conditional branch if Teresa is in the party. But what we want is if she's not in the party. The idea is when your party is full. How do we get it to know when the party is full? What I may need to do first, we're going to try this out properly. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want this either. So this one? We need a fifth party member. Gorso. Your class is a warrior. Your face can be the slimy guy. Your character is a cat. And that'll do. All right. So now, starting party. How do I set a maximum for your party? Because it seems like this maximum is 5, 6, so you can have 8 people. But what if I don't want 8 people in your party? What if I don't want 8 people in your party? Because I think how it is now, it's just gonna add you in. It's not gonna... So this all depends on the tactical plugin that I get as well then. So it seems I can't set the party maximum size. You must gather your party before venturing forth. Right, so if I then will do up to 8, we'll do up to 9. We'll do test. You can have that face. You can be that a dead body. There you are. You're a dead body. All right. Then we got test 2. You're a clown. You're a chicken. Test 3. You are a dog. And you're a boat. Alright, test 4. You're a naked fairy. And you are an old lady. Right. So apply, we go back to system. We add all those characters in just to fill up the party. Right, so that is the whole party filled up now. Okay. So what happens if I add Teresa, not Teresa, we add Gorso? What happens if I try to do that at the moment? Gorso joins the party. You can have 9 people in your party. Can the party size just be infinite? But I don't want an infinite party size. Okay. This is an RPG Maker issue. I'm surprised there's no button to say what your maximum is. How do I set a party limit? Okay, this looks to be an issue that I will need to look into further. So we've come across our first issue that we can't resolve. It looks to be party size. There's no cap to your party size. Which seems bizarre to me. Okay. Okay, so that one we can't quite resolve yet. How are we doing for time? Been streaming for 2 hours. It's 20 past 6. Doesn't feel like it's that late in the day, but I guess so. Right, keys. Let's work on some of these keys. So we can't quite do that idea, never mind. Right, keys will likely be switches, most usable in inventory or conditional branches, or interactables, so the player does not have to access the inventory every time, one of which is equipable. Alright, so that one, we'll do the equipable one first. We're gonna have to go into items. We will, no, it's not an item, it's armor. Is add a new cap, and we'll say this is test. The icon can be I don't know, a blue orb. There you go. Armor type. Medium armor, magic armor, light armor, heavy armor, small shield, large shield, boots. Equipment type. Accessory, because that's what it would be, is an accessory. How would I make it? It says armor type. Is that under items? No. Where would I see what you mean about these armor types? Is it, oh, types, here we go. This is where it is. Armor types, there we go. So I guess it wouldn't really be classified. Data for representing armor types. Sets whether each armor type can be equipped. So maybe it just doesn't need an armor type. Alright, so if you have this equipped, how would I get you to know when you're equipped? What is poking me in the eye? Stop it. Eyelash trying to poke me in the eye. I still feel like there's something there. Maybe there's a bit of fluff dangling from the beanie. Alright, I won't worry about that for now. What I will do is we'll go, oh no, this dog. Will give you the item, which I guess is armor. Test, increase it by 1. Include equipment. What does that mean? I don't know. Alright, so the dog will give you that thing that you want. Now, what I want it to do is when you equip it, you will see things you wouldn't normally see. So let's say chickens. Actually, Actually, if I have this one as the chicken. Now. I don't want... I can have it if you have an item. Can I not have it that when you equip the item? I want it so when you equip the item, it will turn on a switch, or it will do something. It will trigger something. Can I have it do that? Parameters, attacks, skills, equip stuff, special flag. I don't know what that means. Collapse effect, party ability. Ah, can I not have it turn on a switch? Ah, balls. I might need to look into something for that then. That might require editing script or something. What I want is that when you equip the item, it triggers a switch and then turns anything that you can't see, it turns it on so now you can see it. But so long as you have that item equipped. When you unequip it, then you can't see it. That was the plan for that key. Jack Doobie, welcome, welcome. Who's winning? It's kind of a draw at the minute. We've managed to test a bunch of stuff out, and we got it to work. And we just found one thing that doesn't quite work at the moment, because this program doesn't allow you to set a cap to your party size. So it seems you can have an infinite amount of party members in your party, which seems a bit crazy. You can have like 50 people in your party. That doesn't sound right to me. But now I've come across another issue that it doesn't allow you, it seems, to turn on switches whenever you equip a specific item. Or you equip a specific piece of armor. There's a bit of a problem for one of my ideas. What if I do a common event? Maybe I can do it like that. Trigger. Auto run, parallel. I mean, it does need a trigger. To be parallel, maybe? Test. But that's if the switch test is on. So that's not going to work. Auto run, but again, that's when switch test is on. None then. Okay, so a common event won't work either because I can't have the item summon a common event. Cancel that. And that's a party. What, 50 people? Let's look at this. Can I have the gear effect a variable. Might be my workaround. Equip. Equip a weapon. Equip armor. What if I add another armor type, and I'll change it to face. I go here, we make this face. I then make this equip armor face. Enables the equipping of a specified type. Oh, okay. So that would just make it so if someone couldn't wear something before, you now can wear something. It's not going to allow me to do really anything else. Fine. Okay, that's... I really thought it would allow me to do like little things that could happen if you equip something. But I guess not. Because I don't want it if you're just simply holding the item. Kind of defeats the whole purpose. Alright, so that's one thing we can't do. Where can I write this? Let's see. House key, X, trigger, event, when equipped. Something I need to look into. See if we can get that one to work. Auntie, welcome. What you doing? Well, we were trying to see if we can have armor trigger an event the moment you equip it, and then when you unequip it, it then turns off that event. But it seems you can't do that. I might need to either tweak the script of the program or figure something out. So I'm going to need to research into that one. Because it doesn't look like you can do it at the moment. And also, previously, we were trying to sort out party size. Like, set the maximum amount of people you can have in your party. And I thought it was 4. But no, you can have unlimited, apparently. It just keeps going. So I'm like, okay, that's a problem. You definitely need a cap in your party. go to the final boss and you've got like 100 people in your party. You just, and then the boss never gets a turn. Sounds like that would be possible. Yeah, I was thinking that, but at the moment, currently it's a no, but now one thing which will be easy to do is if you had an item. You go boom, do this as test. The symbol can be a star. We don't want it to be consumable, so that'll be a no. And the rest doesn't matter. Now the idea for this one is basically a fast travel thing. Doors there, doors. Every time you use a key on the door, instead of opening the door to its usual entrance, so that would be like a conditional branch, switch would that be skill class name, character, enemy, item, there we go. So if you have the item on you, then it will allow you to teleport wherever you want to go. Then the other problem will be then only giving the options of where you've been before. That way you can't just teleport to the end of the game. We can't have it give you options of locations that you haven't been to. So that'll be the next problem with that, but the idea is that you go where would you like to go? Show choices, and we go test, test 2, test 3. There's no real cancel option. I guess so. Choice 4 could be cancel. There you go. So when you click that one, it will transfer the player. Where? There it is. Transfer player. So transfer you there. Option 2 will transfer the player here. Option 3. Don't, then it just acts as a normal door. It'll be whatever the thing is. So say the door, I don't know, will just take you inside a building, which would be like this one, for example. Oops. So it will take you in here. That would be its usual thing if you didn't have the item. And now this dog, instead of giving you armor, that. That we can get rid of. Change items. Increase. Test by 1, so the dog will give you the item. Alright. We can delete all that. We want, if we're going to test it out in one go, we want it to bring us back. Alright, let's try that. Probably a list of flags that go high or low if you've been there before. I would make it a player variable, main character variable, that is. Right, so currently we don't have the item. So if we go to the door, it takes us here. But then when we do have the item, it should be now showing here, we got the test item. And we can't use it, it's not consumable. We now go to the door, and it could be any door in the game. Where would you like to go? You can then use it as a portal to go to wherever. Say, here for example. Or you can go to a different location. Sweet. Had a feeling that would be a nice easy one, so the portal key works. Good, good. I'm gonna need to refer to my other book now. The trouble is, yeah, it's now making it so it's only places that you've been to. So I guess whenever you go to a new location, I'll have it turn on a switch, or maybe add a variable, and I have a common event that will basically say if a variable equals this, then you have these options available, and if than that, then you get more options available to you. Maybe that's how I do it. But then again, what if you go to areas out of sync? Like you go to areas, because players are going to do things differently. No one's going to do everything the same, only if you guide them on a fixed path, which I don't kind of want to do. The story will be obviously the fixed path, but the rest you can wander around, do whatever. So maybe that idea won't work. I guess it could still be a common event, but yeah, it depends on what switches have been turned on. And it will identify, like, if this switch is on, then you know you can teleport to this area, and if this switch is turned on, you can now teleport to this area. But then would that then mean I have to do lots of different branches of, okay, you have these switches on, but what if this switch is off, and these ones are on? Like, I might be overcomplicating it in my head, but I was initially thinking the second you enter a town, it will flick a switch on, ready for that item in the future. Set the variable the first time they enter each town. Well, the variable, it's always a number. And if it's a number, then it's not really gonna be specific to the location. Well, the fast travel post that you're mentioning will be doors. Any door that you find, that is the fast travel post. Oh, I see. So then... Okay, so you go to a town. It turns a variable on for that town to 1 to say you visited it. Then what would happen if I have every door call up a common event that will then go through and say, okay, which of these variables are 1? And if they are a 1, you can teleport here. But if they're not a 1, then it won't give you the option. I see what you mean. Okay. So, if I went common event, teleport. So this will be like a big conditional branch. So it would be a number of variables for each location. That's fine, I can have loads of variables. So if we call this, I don't know, map 1, I'll name it after the maps. So test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5. Oh, that one didn't type. Test 5. There you go. Alright, so I want you to go test 1. Equal to 1 else. Wait, I'm kind of seeing an issue. This way at the moment would be asking me one by one, do you want to go to this location? Do you want to go to this location? Do you want to go to this location? Rather than having it in a list to say, where do you want to go? This. Because if I put another one here, it's only gonna trigger when test is at 1. So if test is not at 1, it won't trigger the others. Trying to work it out in my head. What's not helping is that my brain is not working anymore. My brain is fried. I get the choice to come into it. I would like a list of choices rather than go, How about this place? How about this place? How about this place? How about this place? I'd rather just a list, and then you can just go, I want that one. So currently triggering the towns, we understand how that will work. As you say, you enter the town, it will turn that variable to a 1, making it ready. My issue is making the list. I only have 6 in a list. I think a workaround would be, if I can't have it in a list, a workaround would be that when you have this key, it will take you to a specific map. That map will then have portals that become open. So like you walk through the portal and now you're in this kind of portal realm, and you got to decide which portal to exit out of. So when you enter the towns and it turns the variable on, it will open a portal in that portal room, and then you just go to that door and then you can go there. That's the only workaround I can see if I can't have a list. Alright, so portal key needs a bit of work. I can research into that one. But we got a piece of it. We got a piece of the key working. Right, we got the mind key. The mind key works, which is fantastic. Right, the mirror key. Can spy and only see what is shown from a reflective surface. I think that will be fixed in specific areas. It's dependent on the story, I think, with that one. Portal key, yeah, that's the one we're having trouble with. The tree key is simple, that would just teleport you to a different map. Shadow key. Turn into or separate your shadow to spy and see and hear what's happening. That is easy enough. That will just change the hero into being a silhouette of yourself. And then you can control the shadow. Water key allows you to walk along the seabed without needing to swim or breathe water. Again, that's just a trigger that will happen when you go to the water if you have the key on you. And you use the key on the water. How would I make it so you literally have to use the key on the water, not just press enter on the water? What I don't want it to do is go, would you like to use this key? And you'll be like, wait, what? Because the idea is that you don't know what this key does. So if you were to go to the water and it will be like, do you wish to use the key? You'd be like, oh, I guess I use it on water. I want the player to figure it out. to go, okay, what if I try this? And then suddenly something happens and they'll be like, oh my god. So how do I keep it a secret? I guess if I make it so, yeah, much like in the water, any other water that you come across, you just walk around, you can walk in it, you know, you wouldn't think to press enter. Maybe I just make it that all you need to do is press enter and then a keyhole will appear and then you go bing and you're like, oh my god. So maybe that's all it is. And then basically that will transport you to a map where you can go underwater. You're now in like a water section. So again, that one's easy. That's just transporting the player. Can it be an item interaction? Like when you click on the key, it pops up a dialogue. Then if you're next to something that uses the key, they get the next step. Otherwise, nothing happens. That's the issue. It seems with RPG Maker, you can't have items or equipable stuff trigger events. So it seems you can't have an item do something like that, like you say. All you can do is add an effect or remove an effect, heal, do damage. You can't actually have it trigger an event if you use it in your inventory. So that's something I'll research into and see if there is a way that we can make it so you can trigger events from your inventory with items. Skeleton key. Yep, again, that's another transport thing. A lot of these tend to be just transport, like these areas become available when you have this key. But you don't know it until you try it. That's the thing. All these keys will be secret. They'll have secret abilities that you have to figure out. Much like with Wonder Boy that's playing right now, with the armor and swords, they had secret abilities that you had to pretty much just figure out. Some of them would be a little bit more obvious, it would be more story driven, but the others, they will be more secretive. The sun key, that would be kind of story driven. The fire key. See visions within the fire. Basically, it gives you tips on where to go next. So that would be story driven and basically just up. All that would just be a variable that slowly increases. So whenever you do key moments within the story, then it increases the variable by 1. So then if you have the fire key and you know how to use it, it will give you the correct information on you need to now go here, or like you're getting visions to basically say go over here. So that's an easy one. I don't really need to test that. The air key, when used inside mist or fog, turns the holder into mist or fog. That's just changing the character sprite and then allowing you to move through gates, fences and such. The glass key we couldn't do because that one is an equipable item, so that we need to kind of figure out. The portal key we need to figure out a bit more. The dream key, enter people's dreams. That's basically the similar principle to the mind key. It's just different. You're entering the dreams instead of their memories. Time key, when used on a clock, it can rewind time and show a thing that's happened. That's kind of story driven. If you manage to find this difficult key, then whenever you can then backtrack to areas that had clocks, and if you use the item on the clock, so that will be like a page, I don't know what you'd call it, something that is needed. It's like a must-have. Like one of these items, a condition, that's it. It's a condition that it meets. If you have the key for the clock, then you can now use it to do this, that, and the other. It will play out a scene of what happened recently, and you get, it's basically lore dumps. The time key gives you lore, that's what that does. The Omega key, yeah, that's easy enough. Oh, actually, because that's combining items together to make this one. So how would you make it if you can't have items interact with each other, then that will be a problem. Because the idea is that you need 3 items to make this key. So when you have these 3 items, you then need to know to combine them. And if you do, then you have the item. So unless I make that a story-driven thing, I would rather that it is an interactable thing in your inventory. Yeah, I'll keep a star on that one. Okay, I think that's all of the main keys. The evil keys, the blood key. This key opens, yeah, that's story driven. Jinxed key. This key makes the holder very unlucky. That would just be a switch that triggers the entire story. It will change a lot of the story, the jinxed key. I might make that a new game plus type thing, because it will definitely make the story very different. The idea with the jinx key is that you become incredibly unlucky. So interactions will all be different. The only way to get rid of the key is if someone is willing to take it from you. They have to be willing to take this key from you. That's the only way to get rid of it. And that is basically how you get the key as well. Someone will hand you the key, and it's up to you if you wish to take it or not. If you willingly take it, you now have the Jinx key. Shrink and growth key, that might or might not be used. That one is basically just changing the character sprite and then changing the map. So that's fine. Oh, this Alex the Kid music is very, very quiet. So I guess we can't have you then. Let's delete you. How do I skip to the next? There we go. Well, it seems all of my ideas have worked apart from 3. Which is very nice to know. That means a lot of my plans will work. Just 3 of them need a bit of a tweak. The portal key definitely needs a bit of a tweak. And it's the glass and the Omega key. They're the ones that I want them to be interactable in your inventory. So I need to find a way of doing that, which may need changing the script and stuff. But otherwise, everything else works. So I can actually delete all this now. I also kind of plan some boss encounters to be not your usual battle screens. Like, if I'm making this a tactical game, you have like a tactical battle, which is a big boss fight or whatever. I don't want all boss fights to be like that, or I want some boss fights which you maybe won't kill them, I don't know, it depends on the scene or that I have planned. But I've done it before on RPG Maker where basically it's more of a puzzle that's happening. So you got the boss that's coming after you. If he touches you, the character, like your event, or if you touch it, it will cause you to lose health, and like a thing would happen. But if you interact with things within the environment, you'll begin to set up and solve this puzzle. Like, I don't know, you cut some rope, which will then lower something, and then you cut another rope and it will lower another thing, and then you got to try and move to get the boss event to go to this platform, which will trigger another event, which will cause the thing above him to come crashing down. So that kind of thing. I've done that before. I know that's possible. It's just a bunch of switches and triggers and variables and whatnot. So that's possible. I'm gonna have some battles or some scenes to be like that, rather than just a tactical fight. Well, I think for now I will research on those bits, and the next episode that we start creating, the next time we stream another game creation mode, my brain is shutting down. The next time we stream, which will probably be tomorrow, I'll work on some art. I'll do some artwork. What I might work on first is my intro cinematic, I think, before I start spriting and doing tile sets. I will work on my cinematic, I think, first. Because that will be my scene that I've got set up in my mind is a number of keys. You've got like this, I don't know, maybe a brick in a wall, like a keyhole that's in this stone block in the wall. And then it will be like my hand coming up, but I'll color it so it looks different. I'll try and draw it, make it look like an old hand. It will grab the key, it'll put it in the lock, it will turn, and then it will come back. Then new keys will appear, you make your choice, it will grab that key, put it in the lock, turn it, and then the stone door or stone little box will kind of come loose a little bit. Another hand will open it, revealing some stuff inside. He'll then grab a book. It will show the Jazzchicken logo. He'll open the book. There's all these runes on it. So for that, I will need to do a lot of pictures. I was trying to figure out how would I might need to either sellotape the phone to my chest, because I want it like Doom perspective, or like Duke Nukem, like a first person, basically, as that perspective. So I was thinking of filming with the phone kind of like maybe here, and then I can have my arm reach out and do the actions. Then I just take it frame by frame, draw around it to get the perspectives right and everything, and then I can color it in and do whatever. That's the plan. And then I do it frame by frame and it will work. It's just a lot of work, that's all. So that I think I will do tomorrow. As of right now, we're gonna wrap it up. But that was a good session. We got a lot of stuff working. Yeah, just a few things that need tweaking. A lot of my plan seems to work, which is great. The main thing is now the battle mechanic. I need to also find a working plugin. I've had a look around and I've seen some tactical plugins, but when I look further of people's reviews, there's bugs and glitches. So I'm like, okay, I need to find one that's actually working. And then I can play around with that. But until then, have a good rest of the day. If I don't see you tomorrow, then have a good Sunday, and I'll catch you cool cats later. Take care. stay tuned, keep your eyes open, give this stream a like, and if you're not subscribed, also make sure that you subscribe. Thank you to anyone who was lurking, and thank you to anyone who watched after the stream.